Skugtash, welcome to Elementary Tono Autumn 1, Lesson 3, the G determiner and yes or no questions. In this lesson, we'll learn about determiners in Autumn and the question marker N for forming yes or no questions. Let's begin with the G determiner. This determiner refers to a noun in Autumn. It functions a lot like the words the or in English. Let's look at it in a sentence. Hink o uk gox. Hink o gox. The dog is barking. Hink o gox. Now, one rule about this determiner is that it never comes at the beginning of a sentence. So if we were to change this word order around a little bit and put gox at the beginning of the sentence, we would then move the auxiliary and the verb down, gox o hink, which means the exact same thing, the dog is barking, but the determiner would completely drop out. So when the subject is first in the sentence, we drop the determiner out. We would never say gox o hink, just gox o hink or hink o gox. Let's look at a couple more examples with this. Kuk o uk mister. Kuk ok mister. The cat is standing. Again, if we move the subject to the first position and move the auxiliary and verb down, the determiner drops out. Mister o kuk. Mister o kuk. Same sentence, just the determiner is dropped out when the subject is in the beginning. Mut o gawio. Mut o gawio. The horse is running. Now we're going to move the subject to the front and move the auxiliary and the verb down. Gawio o mut. The determiner again drops completely out. Gawio o mut. Gosh o uk haiwan. Gosh o uk haiwan. The cow is sleeping. If we move the subject to the front and move the auxiliary and verb down, haiwan o gosh, we have to get rid of that determiner. Haiwan o gosh. So just remember, the determiner refers to a noun. It functions like the or in English, but we never use it at the beginning of a sentence. Now we're going to talk about how to ask yes or no questions in Autumn. We use the question marker N. This is placed at the beginning of a sentence and it's attached to the auxiliary. And it's used to ask yes or no questions. So let's take a look at a couple of examples where we can change the sentence to ask a yes or no question. Our first sentence is going to be Hugakawio o mut. Hugakawio o mut. That horse is running. This is a simple and transitive statement. So now we want to make it a question. Is that horse running? What we do first is we introduce the question marker at the beginning of the sentence. Remember, that's always attached to the auxiliary. So we move the auxiliary down next to it, then the subject, and then the verb. No hugakawio mut. Altogether, no hugakawio mut. And you'll notice that the auxiliary usually has a glottal stop on it, but when it's attached to the question mark, it loses the glottal stop. No hugakawio mut. Let's try another example. Ida mister o kosh. Ida mister o kosh. This cat is sleeping. Ida mister o kosh. Now we want to ask, is this cat sleeping? Again, we introduce the question marker, bring down the auxiliary, then the subject, and then the verb. So what we end up with is no ida mister kosh. No ida mister kosh. Is this cat sleeping? Let's try one more sentence. Hugay haiwan o kuk. Hugay haiwan o cook. That cow is standing. Now we want to ask, is that cow standing? We introduce the question marker, attach the auxiliary, then bring down the subject and the verb. And what we end up with is no hugai kawiu cook. No hugai kawiu cook. Is that cow standing? No hugai kawiu cook. Again, the auxiliary loses the apostrophe or the glottal stop when we attach it to the question marker. So now that we know how to ask a yes or no question in Autumn, we are going to learn now how to answer it using yes or no. You could answer the question by simply saying "Ho'o" yes or "Bi'a" no. Let's practice those words. Ho'o, ho'o, yes. Bi'a, bi'a, no. We could also incorporate the sentence into our answer. So when we do this, we follow ho'o or bi'a with the sentence, with the question. In this case, ho'o and bi'a are considered separate from the sentence, which means they will not affect word order. So we're going to look at how this works in just a second. We have our question, no hugakauyo mut. Is that horse running? And now we want to answer it with yes. The horse is running. No hugakauyo mut. Again, we could simply just say ho'o, ho'o. Or we can incorporate the sentence from the question into the answer by saying ho'o mut o hugakauyo. Ho'o mut o hugakauyo. Again, ho'o is separate from the answer. So that's why the auxiliary is still considered to be in the second position in this sentence. Mut o hugakauyo. The subject is optional in these instances, so we could take out hugakauyo and just answer ho'o mut o. Ho'o mut o. Yes, it is running. Ho'o mut o. Now, if we wanted to answer that with bi'a, no, no hugakauyo mut, we could just say bi'a, or again, bi'a, bi, o, mut, hugakauyo. Bi'a, bi, o, mut, hugakauyo. In this sentence, we have the negative first, the auxiliary second, the verb, and then the subject. But just like the last slide, the subject is optional. So we could just say bi'a, bi, o, mut. Bi'a, bi, o, mut. Let's look at another example of how to answer with yes and no. Our question is, Nog ari chichui. Is the child playing? Nog ari chichui. Again, we could just say ho'o, yes. Or we could lengthen the answer and say ho'o chichui o ari. Ho'o chichui o ari. Again, the subject is optional. We could drop that out and just say ho'o chichui o. Yes, he or she is playing. Ho'o chichui o. Answering with bi'a, our question again is nok ari chichui. We could just say bi'a or bi'a bi o chichui ari. Bi'a bi o chichui ari. No, the child is not playing. Again, negative, auxiliary, verb, subject is optional. So we could drop that out and say bi'a bi o chichui. Bi'a bi o chichui. No, he or she is not playing. So let's look at the core concept highlights of this lesson. In Autumn, we have the g determiner, which refers to a noun. And this functions a lot like the or in English, but remember, we never put it at the beginning of a sentence. It always drops out if the subject is at the beginning of a sentence. We have yes or no questions in Autumn that are formed by using the question marker N. This is placed at the beginning of a sentence and attached to an auxiliary. It's used only to formulate yes or no questions where the answer would be yes or no. When we answer yes or no questions, we have two formulas we could use. We could just say simply ho'o, or ho'o verb auxiliary subject, as in Ho'o mud'o agavio. Yes, the horse is running. The subject is optional in these instances, so we could just say ho'o mud'o. If we wanted to answer negatively, we could say pi'a, pi'o mud'agavio. Pi'a, negative, auxiliary, verb, and subject. Pi'a, pi'o mud'agavio. Again, the subject is optional, so we could just say pi'a, pi'o mud. So feel free to repeat this video as many times as necessary until you feel comfortable with the material presented here. Once you've gotten a grasp on the core concepts of this lesson, please move on to the lesson 3 exercises at the end of the chapter. Sapa.